Hi, Aaron's Julia here, recording this on July 26, 2022, or if you like, the year 5916 Annus Mundi. I'm going to talk about humans versus technology. Is technology needed if we have our so called supernatural abilities functional to their full potential? Was it really a gift when advanced beings brought us technological advancement? I've heard it said that most technologies are based on past human abilities. For instance, we could use telepathy instead of a computer or a phone to communicate. Maybe our true natural state is with all of our DNA activated, regardless of the atmosphere we live in. And we've been programmed to do things that prevent the activation of our DNA. If we activated our DNA all the time, like we have the potential to do, it would allow for easy access to all of our supernatural abilities. Toltec wisdom teaches that DNA gets activated by optimizing our frequency, our resonance. Maybe that's what's really being hidden from us. It appears that many indigenous cultures have realized this fact and have discovered ways out of the simulation. These abilities may not be supernatural at all. It could just be our natural abilities that we've lost track of how to develop and utilize. Tom Campbell, for instance, can quickly and effortlessly go from different reality streams or simulations and can connect to Source in order to feel that deep, undescribable love that I've heard him and others talk about. Tom does this without ingesting any substances. In fact, he's a raw vegan and doesn't consume caffeine or any other mind-altering substances. He and others, like Savan Bomar, say that having a clean, pure body makes the process much easier. Toltec wisdom teaches the same. Have a pure body and live from your pure heart, radiating love, and your resonance will adjust, allowing you to access your latent skills and exit this illusion at will. It's possible that food is the biggest psyop going. Modern agriculture basically enslaved humanity. We all have the potential to be breatharians, receiving our energy directly through the ether which everything is a part of, the real Ethernet. We are the Internet of Things. The so-called food most of us consume makes us dense and lethargic. Then we add alcohol and other drugs into the mix and our frequency is way below optimal. We're supposed to gain energy from the food we eat, but most typical meals make you tired. Fresh, ripe fruit, being alive and full of biophotonic energy, is the best food to consume if we are going to eat. But most humans would rather just wait for someone or something to fix everything instead of making seemingly uncomfortable adjustments. Maybe this lack of self-discipline is part of the default programming that Archaeus talks about. So maybe no discipline is programmed into us not to have discipline. Maybe mastering self-discipline is the lesson we finally have to learn through all these lifetimes. Maybe the reward of giving up these earthly pleasures brings results that are far more pleasurable than anything we can experience with them. That's kind of how it was for me quitting alcohol and drugs. I actually feel much better sober than I ever did inebriated. I definitely didn't think that was possible. We use food as a vice because that's how the system designed it. Processed food is manufactured to be addictive. We've been programmed to think we need certain foods that really just keep us dense and lethargic. People would rather take poisonous pharmaceuticals than give up their precious food. It's seen as a sacrifice to not poison your body these days. I know that some people can be healthy and very tapped into Source regardless of what they put into their bodies. But for most of us, if we want to beat this game, then we may need to give up vices. Are we here to just live and learn, or to beat the game, or both? Perhaps we were all formerly breatharians, utilizing our godly abilities at will. We could enjoy fruit if desired, but it wasn't needed. Maybe the apple temptation story has a whole different meaning. Perhaps the introduction of food, especially the crap they call food now, brought our individual and collective resonance down. Maybe thinking we need food is also part of default programming, like being compliant is. And we can overcome the programming with knowledge and effort. According to Roberto at the Toltec Holistic School, we were changed from silicon to carbon, basically from crystal to coal. And I just wanted to give these definitions of silicon and carbon. Silicon is a chemical element with symbol capital SI and atomic number 14. Silicon has 14 protons, 14 neutrons, and 14 electrons. It's a hard, brittle, crystalline solid with a blue-gray metallic luster and is a tetravalent metalloid and semiconductor. It is a member of group 14 in the periodic table. Carbon, from the Latin carbo, coal, is a chemical element with the symbol capital C. The atomic number 6. Carbon has 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. It is nonmetallic and tetravalent, making 4 electrons available to form covalent chemical bonds. It belongs to group 14 of the periodic table. It's interesting that coal has the potential to become the ultimate crystal, a diamond, when under great pressure. Perhaps we have a choice on how to return to our crystalline nature, make simple adjustments in the here and now, or succumb to the pressure of many lifetimes. Toltec wisdom says that in order to activate our DNA, we need to overcome our vices and basically live by the 7 virtues, which are 1. Humility, 2. Charity, 3. Chastity, 4. Gratitude, 5. Temperance or self-discipline, 6. Patience, and 7. Diligence. And here's a quote from Facebook I came across while writing this out, and I thought it was synchronistic. Here's the deal about this world. Temptations are endless. You have to rise above them if you want to heal, ascend, and grow. There's something so great beyond fleeting sensual pleasures, but you won't know it unless you do what it takes to experience it. Nothing tastes better than freedom. Again, I just thought that was synchronistic. And then there's people like Tom Campbell. He refers to this realm as an entropy reduction trainer. Entropy is just chaos. People like Tom are happy to be here going through incarnations and see no need to try and exit. It took Tom years, but he can now quickly and effortlessly go into different reality streams. He has a new workbook called Tom's Park that guides you on how to easily go out of body. Maybe that's the goal to get where Tom is, happy to reincarnate here in order to potentially help others. The choices we're challenged with here allow us to gain a lot of growth. More choices equals more growth. Tom says that when we die, we merge back into our higher self and decide what lessons we want to work on next, and what family and location, and even what reality stream or simulation we want to be born into. We don't have to come back here. He says that those who initially refuse to come back later change their mind because they get bored. According to Tom, it's our choice to be here. Tom says that in the big picture, out-of-body experiences, including lucid dreaming, aren't necessary, and that it doesn't really matter what we consume, to a degree, of course. We just need to work on lowering the entropy here by becoming love and helping others. That alone will adjust our resonance, allowing us to return in the next lifetime vibrating at a good frequency, ready to continue our lessons. So I say technology is convenient, but if we harnessed our true powers, then we wouldn't need any of it. Maybe when we don't have technological advancement, we are more inclined to work to reinstate our natural powers. I don't really feel urgency about escaping the simulation, but I'm ready for whatever is out there. I see reincarnation in this current life as quite adventurous. The suffering we endure definitely makes us more empathetic, along with the lessons it teaches us. We don't really die. This is just a ride, and eternity is a long time. We may hurry out of this realm and then look back and wish we'd stayed longer, realizing we are our own benevolent force, our own benefactor. We are all intricate pieces of ongoing creation. We are creation. Everything is creation. We do have free will, and time doesn't really exist anyway. So the best advice is to keep the stress levels low and always focus on what you want. The future will modify to reflect your thoughts and intentions. It's interesting and fun to explore where we came from and where we might be going, but try to stay present and enjoy the ride, and always remember to help others if you can. I'll link the YouTube channels for the people mentioned here in this talk in the comments. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.